Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Bull City Hangout 127. I'm Pat Murray. I publish the Durham Skywriter. That's Durham's online community paper. I invite you to check it out at durhamskywriter.com. Now, with Bull City Hangout, I got my notes here. Basically, I tell you what's happening today in Durham. And then I invite you just to, click on the link that's on the Facebook side and join me on camera, shoot the breeze, etc. So I'm going to start out with the word page, as I've been doing lately. And I'm just going to make quick mention of certain programs. I know you probably get tired of me explaining them every day, so I'll just make quick mentions of them. And that is the City of Durham's Water Hardship Fund to help you if you've fallen behind in your water bill. Also, this is new, at least to me, the City of Durham's Eviction Diversion Program. Very important if you need to save your home. So check that out. Also, the county has a couple of programs that I will make quick mention of. Of course, you can read about them in detail, and the links, the phone numbers, everything that you need is right here on the word page. The county has the LEAP program, the Low Income Energy Assistance Program, also to help you with your heating bill. Also, the HOPE program, Housing Opportunity and Prevention of Evictions program. So now we have a city and a county program to help people who are in danger of being evicted. Darn it, I went ahead and explained it again. That's okay. I'm sure you don't mind. Okay, now I just want to remind you, while we're waiting for the libraries to open, just know that you can still take out books, etc. So just go online. If you don't have a library card, you can get a temporary library card, which is awesome. So you can actually place a hold on books, CDs, and DVDs. And then the libraries are open, but for pickup and drop off only. So the hours basically are Tuesdays through Fridays, 11 to 6, and generally Saturdays until 2, which is super awesome. And of course, if you want to get a sneak peek at the downtown, the new library, it's on the Neighbor Goodies page. There's a short video. I didn't take the video, but I got that from the library. All righty, let's see. If you're a regular watcher of the show, you know that I like to promote Durham Technical Community College's Small Business Center. They have these wonderful free webinars. And in fact, I list webinars from across the state, and I don't have room to list them all. So click on the link and find out what I had to leave. All right, so let's see what's on the docket for today, with it being the 27th. Okay, the Paycheck Protection Program 2.0, also known as PPP, the Shuttered Venue Operator Grant Overview for Small Business Owners. This all has to do with COVID-19 and trying to stay in business. So definitely find out about that. These are free workshops. Just sign up in advance and attend. So this one's going to be from noon until 1. Also today, let me grab some water real quick. My throat is so dry. Okay. Okay. Also today from 1 until 2:30, how to build or send emails. That's very important if you're in business, because you can send emails, but can you make them open these emails? Very important. Also today, from 5:30 until 7:30, social media tips for artists. That's another one. Okay, these are all free, folks. And then tomorrow morning, they're going to have Facebook fundraising tools for nonprofits. That's a good one. That's tomorrow from 11:30 until 1. Again, these are all free, so you might as well at least check them out. All righty, I think that's it for the word page. Oh, there's one more. Service Corps of Retired Executives. They know everything there is to know about business. They have free mentorships, and also they have webinars too. So let's see what's on their schedule. I think they have something happening tomorrow. Let's see. Yes, tomorrow at 2, data privacy, why it should be a top priority for your small to medium-sized business. Very important. And again, it's free. So why? All right, let's go to the health page. It's called To Your Health. And of course, I have your COVID-19 vaccine tips, and also places where you can get tested for free, all kinds of different places, including Lincoln, CVS. They're listed here on the page. Just check it out. Also, we're on phase 1B. People ages 65 and up can start setting their appointments to get vaccinated for COVID-19. Let me know. I'm very curious. I'd like to know from someone who got their shot. I'm just curious what it's like. So let me know. Put it in the comments below. All righty. I also have phone numbers to call, hotline numbers to get to set your appointments for COVID-19. So there's a phone number for Durham County Department of Public Health, and then Duke Regional Hospital and Duke University Hospital. They share the same number. What worked for me was going online and setting the appointment myself. And yeah, so anyway, whatever works for you, check it out on the To Your Health page. All righty, let's see. And now let's go to the health events page. Let me just show you the big blue health events button. Boom. So you just click on that and then you get information about special events. So also support groups. So let's see, today's what, the 27th? So the Duke Cancer Patient Support Program, they have their blood and marrow transplant survivor support group meeting. Of course, it's online. It's from 4 until 6. So you just, register. You just call it just go to the To Your Health page and click on the big blue health events button. Also today from 5:30 until 7, the this is virtual, LGBTQ plus cancer support group, their meeting is going to be from 5:30 until 7. Again, the links, everything that you need is on this page here. And then also today, Durham County Public Health, did you know they also have webinars? They're awesome and they're free. So today from 6 until 7, Caring for Diabetes Day to Day, questions and answers. So yeah, they're not going to just be talking at you. You can actually ask questions. So check that out. That's going to be, again, from 6 until 7 this evening. Let's see. And then tomorrow at 9:30 a.m., the Community Health Coalition, they're hosting Maternal and Child virtual program. Very, very special program. It's going to start tomorrow at 9:30. And you have until noon today to register. So be sure to register. This is for Black women ages 18 to 51, about preconception health and having healthier babies. Okay, so the first 20 to register, they might already have the first 20, but I'm just letting you know, just in case, first 20 to register and attend will receive $25 gift cards. There you go. I think that's it for the health. Let's see. Yes. So let us go now to the Let's Go page. That's the last page we will be visiting. That is the calendar of events page. All righty. Now, let's see. It's not noon yet, so I will tell you that the Urban Community Agronomics, also known as UCAN, they're giving away vegetables today from start at 10 and goes on until noon. So if you think you can hop in the car, if you are in need and you need some vegetables, go ahead, hop in the car. It's near, what is that called? That hamburger place, the Cookout. If you go up Roxborough Street, and then where you see the Cookout and Captain D's, I think it's called, the seafood place, you on that side street, say side street, but you turn and go down that street. It's not too far, like a mile down the road. So if you think you can make it there before noon, go ahead, because they've got delicious vegetables. I got to let you know. I mean, it's right at the farm. Serious. So, yeah. So, I have the list here. They will be giving away corn, collard greens, sweet potatoes, apples. I wish I could go. Eggs, carrots, and beets. All right, there you go. All righty. Let's see what else is on the docket. The Nehemiah Christian Center, they're giving away lunches, free bag lunches for people in need, noon until 1 this afternoon. At the New Visions of Africa restaurant, they'll be giving away free warm meals today from 3 until 6 to people in need. And then Brett's open mic is tonight at the Blue Note Grill. That's from 7 until 9. Admission is $5. They are playing it safe. They're not going to let just, like hordes of people in. So if you want to play it safe and watch from home on Facebook, you can do that and maybe spend the $5 tipping the musicians via your Cash App or whatever. You can do that as well. All righty, let's see. The Durham County Sheriff's Office, they have rabies vaccination clinic from 2:30 until 2 until 3:30. $10 exact change, cash only, to get your dog or cat vaccinated. And then tomorrow, again, Nehemiah Christian Center will dispense free bag lunches to people in need from noon until 1. I love Durham Tech. Okay. Durham Technical Community College, they have these information sessions. They tell you what classes to take to get a certain certificate or whatever that leads directly into jobs. So tomorrow, from noon until 1, anesthesia, did I say that right? Beverly can help me because she's waiting in the wings. Anesthesia technology information session from noon until 1. So I looked it up. My cousin was an anesthesiologist and he made big money. He lived large in the Village in New York. But anesthesia tech, that doesn't require an actual medical degree. I'm not sure if anesthesiologists, I know there's years of medical training. Be that as it may, this is also a good job. So if you want to learn about that, it's free to attend the info session. It's from noon until 1. Check that out on the Let's Go page and let me know if that works out for you. And I think that is it. Let us check the weather real quick. It's 46. It's not raining here on Cap Street, but Durham is sizable. It might be raining somewhere. So it does say that it's raining. We're getting showers somewhere in Durham. And then it's going up to 52, partly sunny in mid-afternoon. And we're supposed to get a winter weather advisory. Maybe we might get some snow after midnight. That we'll see about that. And even if we do, it's going up to 43 tomorrow. So it's not going to last long. So tomorrow is going to be 43 and partly sunny. All righty, that's pretty much it. It looks like Beverly is back. Let's see what's going on with Beverly Mahone. Good morning. How are you, Beverly?
Fine. How are you?
Doing great. So what's new?
Well, I just popped in to say that I just decided to do a master class, a free master class on February 6th.
You're gonna send me the info, right?
I can, yes. For young people who are interested in understanding and learning how to write college essays for the application process, because so many of them just don't know. And even though that one's probably not as critical as the one when you write for scholarship essays, it's still very important and people still read them. And so I just decided, give back to the community and share my knowledge. That's it.
Absolutely. Now, I mean, I went to college, but I don't remember the application process. It was so long ago. But what is the difference between writing an essay for college admission and writing what we call a, composition? What is the difference?
Well, a composition, so is really based, so let's talk about the similarities first. So when you're writing a composition, you're writing it based on some prompt that you've been given. So if the professor says, he wants you to write your thoughts about the main character of a book you read, then that would be your composition that you would be writing about. When you're writing an essay for college, you are writing a personal synopsis of who you are dealing with, whatever that prompt is. So the prompt could be, what makes you unique? And then you would then explain what makes you unique. The problem is understanding what that statement really means. What is it about you that's unique? You know, the fact that you decided to go natural with your hair when everybody else around you wasn't doing it doesn't necessarily make you unique. So flushing out, you know, something that's deep, something that's personal. And one of the things I tell students is that after you've written your paper, give it to a friend of yours. And if they've learned something more about you in that paper that they did not know, you've written a very good paper.
Good point, Beverly.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's.
Let me ask you this though. So sometimes
and you pronounce anesthesia. You did pronounce anesthesia, the anesthesiologist correctly. I had to think about that. Okay, go ahead.
Because I sometimes when I watch BBC, the words that we pronounce with a sh, they use a sia sound. Like they would say anesthesia, while we might say anesthesia. Anesthesia. Right. So sometimes I watch too much BBC. Anyway, so sometimes people are a little bit too clever for their own good. So let me ask you this. So let's say again that the premise of the essay, or rather the topic, is what makes you unique or whatever. So should the young person think about or consider what the university might be looking for and sort of skew it that way? Because again, you just pointed out going natural might not be all that unique. It might have been very important to you, but that might not matter, doesn't impress or matter much to the people in the college reading your essay. So do you have to think about what they're looking for?
Well, here's the thing. In the respect that it ties into what you want to study in college. So let's just say that you say that, I'm unique because ever since I was a little child, I was always fascinated with pets, everybody's pet. Didn't know why, but I was just fascinated with them and I liked to take care of them. I did all these things, et cetera, et cetera. And then one day I realized that I wanted to be a veterinarian. And as I researched all of the schools, I found your school was absolutely the best place for me to go in order to study and to perfect my craft. So yes,
my God, that's good.
Yes, you could do that. But, you can also take it, in different directions as well. I think the key here is how well you articulate your thoughts and ideas. I mean, just to say, because you could just say, well, I'm unique because I'm unique because I've studied 7 different languages and I'm fluent in all of them. Well, that may not have anything to do with the university because the university may not even offer not one of those languages. But it's unique because you've studied 7 different languages and you can speak fluently, so that that, for example, when I complete my college career at whatever university and I travel abroad to do whatever it is I do, I will be able to communicate effectively with the people in that country because I've studied that language.
Okay.
So it's you can do it in a lot of different ways.
Okay. Well, this is good advice. This is real good advice. Well, while I have you here, let's just take advantage of the fact that you're just, that you have a few minutes to spare. Please give us some hints for high school students who are writing papers. I mean in general.
Okay.
Because sometimes people throw in these gigantic words because they want to, you've seen how police do that too. They throw in these gigantic words and use them incorrectly because they want to sound smarter.
Yes. I will be definitely talking about that in this upcoming masterclass that I'm doing. First thing I would tell every student do an outline. First of all, understand what is being asked of you to do. And once you've gotten clarity from, because you got to understand what it is you're writing, because you can't just say, well, the teacher gives you an assignment and you think you know what it is, but if you really don't know, you're going to be off the mark and way off in left field. So understand what you're being asked to do. Once you understand your assignment, then do an outline. And I always say you follow the outline of the who, what, where, when, why, and how. You may not answer every one of those questions in the outline, but if you start there, you have a base. You know how you can kind of organize your thoughts. So who is the main character of the story? What did this main character do? What was their MO? You know, why were they the main character? What happened in the story that made them do whatever it is they did? How did they get from point A to point Z? And why was this book interesting to you? So once you can answer all of those questions, it's so much easier to start writing. Too many young people and adults are also guilty. So let's not put it all on young people. They just sit down and they just all of a sudden just think they can write. They just think they can write and they just write on. And then all of a sudden your thought goes from A to Z, then it comes back to P, then it goes to B. And before you know it, you've written all over the place and you don't have anything that is coherent.
And I guess it's good to it's not a play-by-play also. When you ask a little kid who just saw a movie what the movie's about, very rarely will a 7-year-old say, well, it was existential, you know, the story of, but they tell you, and so-and-so happened, and then the car crashed, and then so-and-so, and then this and that happened. And, you know, but you don't want to do that in your essay.
But the little kids kind of already have that who, what, where, when, why, and how in their minds. But they try to articulate it. They just don't really do it in the same structure. The problem is that somewhere between their impressionable years and the years that they actually go to school and they're supposed to be formally trained, they lose it. And when you lose it, you know, I've had students in college who have come to me and told me, well, I was in the AP honor. You know, they're insulted that you're telling them that their writing needs work because they were in the AP honor classes when they were in high school. And they always told me my writing was very good. Well, honey, you're in college now. So while they may have allowed you to get through in high school, you don't think your professors are just going to let you skate through on literary reviews and essay writing and research papers. No, that's just not going to happen. So I think once they have their aha moments, and I try to give every student an opportunity to have that, then I think it becomes easier for them. Let me just quickly share a story. I had a young man who came in last October. He was applying for a McDonald's scholarship. Now, they were only giving 10 in the country, and he was one of them. He wanted to be one of them.
Whoa.
And I think it was $5,000. I'm not exactly sure how much, or 10,000. I'm not sure. But anyway, so he came to me with his paper, and I read it, and I said, so why should I give you this money? I said, there's nothing in this paper that makes me think you deserve it. Why should I give it to you? And then he started telling me, you know, the things that he had done in the past and how this made him feel like, made him want to continue to pursue the endeavor of writing. So I said, but, you know, in order to pitch your idea, you got to come from a place where the person who is giving this money is going to understand your connection to why you're doing what you do, to how that money is going to help you to continue to do what you do. So as we were talking, I learned that he wanted to go to the NFL. He had a career-ending injury in high school. He became depressed. He didn't want to go to college from there. He lost all of his hope. And I was saying, and none of that was in the paper. And I was like, but wait a minute. What? This is the story. This is so good. But he didn't know how to bring it out. And I think with young men, they don't like to share their vulnerabilities, but you have to. He didn't want to really talk about it. But anyway, so I asked him if he had ever heard of Langston Hughes, which he had not. I just could not believe that. But anyway, so I quoted the poem, "What Happens to a Dream Deferred?" Because that's immediately what I thought of. His dream of going to the NFL had been deferred. And when I recited the poem, he was like, "Oh, that's deep." And I said, "Yeah, it is." Well, to make a long story short, we did go back and we reworked on the paper. He revitalized it. Oh my God. And when he told his story that he had told me, I can't even tell you, it was so moving. He got the scholarship.
1 out of 10. Whoa.
1 out of 10 in the country. At NCCU, he got the scholarship. And when I tell you, I read that, he sent me a little note and I was crying. I was like, oh my God. And then on top of that, he wrote a book that he said he was going to do in the paper because I said, you need to tell them that's what you wanted the money for. He wrote the book and he did send me a copy of the book. And he said that he was going to give the books out to the kids at C.C. Spalding and Fayetteville Street School, I think. Because in his paper, he talked about volunteering at those schools and how they were low performing schools for reading. And he wanted to inspire them to read with a book he wanted to write, but he just didn't have the funds. So that was the connection. He lost his dream. He lost his hope. Pat, when I tell you his story, and I've saved his paper because I want that to be an example for other young people. I saved the original because the original was terrible. And I saved the final version.
Well, before and after, it's always good, isn't it? To take a look.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. That's a beautiful story, Beverly. Wow.
Yeah.
I have one more. Hey, Tachi. Tachi's watching on foot. Our guest here is, I shouldn't say guest, friend, Beverly. Just hopped in if you want to hop in. Now, Tachi is a professor and instructor as well.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, she's way down in Florida, where they probably don't have a winter weather advisory like we do. But so yeah, she's a journalist also. I think she.
Oh, wonderful! Pop in, say hi. I'd love to hear what your thoughts are.
Yeah, and in fact, I think Mediascope restarts today, right, Tachi? Mediascope is a show that she and MC Curtis they do this on. Let's see, LinkedIn, Facebook, Periscope, WRMS Line Radio. Basically, it's a show of pop culture, tech, and social media, and it's super fun. It's going to be 80-degree days. So,
oh God, yeah. Whatever. That's all I can say is whatever.
Oh, yeah, so I want you to check out our show, please. So it's at 6 p.m.
Okay. 6 p.m. Okay.
Folks watching from other parts of the country. Yeah, it's called Mediascope. You can find her on Facebook.
I definitely will do that. And I dropped a new YouTube video today talking about HBCU college sports and COVID and the future. I'm.
Oh, wait a minute. Speaking of this this workshop you're going to give, let me just go back online here. There's going to be a college fair this Saturday. I didn't mention it because it's only Wednesday, but yeah, there's going to be a college fair. Let me see if I can go to the school page real quick.
Oh, that would be wonderful.
Yeah, you might want to connect with some of the students there. It's a national, so they can talk with representatives from the different colleges, and some seniors will be accepted immediately. Those who have already applied online, and then if you haven't applied online, then there's going to be, I think, fee waivers. I guess you have to pay to apply. I don't know. That's what let's see. There it is. It's the virtual Malcolm Bernard HBCU College Fair. It's going to be Saturday from 1 until 4. You can explore college ops and talk with various college reps about student health, academics, scholarships, et cetera, et cetera. So they're going to have application fee waivers and instant admissions for seniors.
Wow.
The link is right there on the School Tools page.
Okay.
Yeah, because I just say click, you know how I do. So I have. Well, wait,
School.
I didn't put. Let me put 𝗕𝗨𝗟𝗟 boast. It's going to be 80 degrees today. Let me put that on screen.
Thank you. We appreciate it. 𝗕𝗨𝗟𝗟. Yeah, we certainly appreciate you letting us know that.
Well, it's 46 here. It's not bad.
So I'd be curious to get her feedback on this, 𝗕𝗨𝗟𝗓, if you don't mind sharing. What are your thoughts about people who are not quote unquote professionally credentialed as educators by, having the degree in education, secondary education, whatever, who teach young people? So, and I asked that question because, by trade, I am a journalist. So I eat, sleep, drink, writing, public speaking all the time. But I don't have any educational background as it relates to teaching in the classroom. So I would never, ever be permitted to teach because, you got to have that teaching degree. What are your thoughts about that? I had the young man that I'm tutoring now, his mother, she said to me that she had a teacher tutoring him, but she happened to catch me in some virtual workshop, and she thought, oh, my son would love her. And she said, and I told her, I said, well, I don't have a degree in teaching, so I'm just letting you know. So she said, I don't care. And so he's been, one of my students, and she's given me feedback, and she says he loves coming to the sessions, and he's so excited. He looks forward to them every week. But, once we get, no, not full time. Oh, no, not full time. On a part-time basis, tutoring here and there, offering information. But definitely,
I think reputation, I think at a certain level, this is my opinion, which probably doesn't count, but I think reputation and results and rapport are far more important than a certificate or a degree.
Oh, I like that. So you said reputation, rapport, and results. Man, that is, yeah. Yeah, because I agree with that. I totally agree with that. And I think that you don't have to, well, I don't know. Can you be are there some professions?
You need some kind of credentials to be, a surgeon, I'm sure. You just can't say, I have a passion for surgery. Oh, here's 𝗕𝗨𝗟𝗓 has I think there's no problem with tutoring and working with young people. You don't need to be credentialed to transmit knowledge, especially first-hand practical knowledge. That's very true.
Okay.
Because you can have all kinds of what they call book learning and have...
Right. Well, but the way of teaching kids today, I think, is so outdated. First of all, I'm not conventional by any stretch of the imagination. I told one student, we were going over sentences, and so I asked him to tell me what was wrong with the sentence. And so he said nothing was wrong with it. And I said, you're saying there's nothing wrong with the sentence. The sentence was, me and my sisters are going to the store with my mother. Well, it wasn't supposed to be me and my sisters. And he said that. He didn't think anything was wrong with the sentence. I said, if you don't clean up this sentence, I'm going to shut this Zoom call down, and that session is going to be over. That's how I talked to him. And then I thought, oh, wait a minute. That's not my child. That's not my grandchild. Who am I to do this? But he got it. He received it.
That's cool, though. Whatever works.
Whatever works. sure. But I don't think you can do that in a classroom setting. I don't know if you can.
That's okay. You're not in a classroom setting. And I think it's good to be able to relate to your student. I think it's important. Yeah. And sometimes you have to, because you know how stern teachers are, and when you talk back, you know, they get angry. You know, I like to run writing workshops for what I call reluctant writers.
Okay, that's good. Man, you on a roll, aren't you? You're on a roll.
But we
need to team up and do something sometime. Seriously.
Okay. And 𝗕𝗨𝗟𝗟 additionally says the school system uses an antiquated formula based on placing importance on standardized. That is the key to the problem right there.
There it is.
But my story real quick. So I had a classroom of kids at the library at Stanford Warren. And we were, I had this assignment for the kids. And I passed out paper, pens to the kids. And this one girl, she was showing out, you know, she said, well, you might as well not give me nothing because I ain't going to write nothing. And so, well, just in case you get inspired, you know, and I gave her paper and pen anyway, and I turned my back on her and totally ignored her and explained the assignment and stuff. Then out of the corner of my eye, I'm looking and she's furiously writing because she liked I guess she liked the concept of what I asked them to, you know, the topic.
Right.
And the fact that I guess she wanted attention, negative attention. And I didn't get her. You know, I treated her with respect and said, just in case, you know. So, 𝗕𝗨𝗟𝗟 says something else. Okay, so don't know. That's right. She's at the college level. She teaches college level.
Oh, right. Okay.
So she sees the results of formulaic teaching when they get to her in the college classroom.
Right. And I see it too. When I'm tutoring the college students at NCCU, I see it there as well. As a matter of fact, I don't know if I even see any kind of formula teaching because I just think that, you know, by the time that they get to college and I'm working with them, it's almost like if they're, I don't want to say a lost cause because I never want to give up on a student who's making the effort, but it really becomes challenging to work with them because they've been doing it one way for so long. Nobody has ever tried to correct them, or at least, I mean, because sometimes they just really haven't tried to correct them. And so what they have been doing, they just think is acceptable. And then they get to me and then it's like, well, no, honey, this is not it. And then they're offended because they think that they've been doing it right. So am I wrong? Or were their teachers that they had all those years wrong?
I really think that it's best for kids to learn different methods of learning and don't give up on any kid because I didn't catch on to math until college. I dug college math because it was more theory as an application, and that's how my mind works. And I really enjoyed math. I never enjoyed math before. I really liked math. And I asked my friend Gloria why I took the math in college so much, and she says there's really two different, I guess, roads to math, and that's the theory and the application. And that they just so happen to concentrate on the theory side at my college, Talladega College, and I loved it. Absolutely. Yeah. I have one more question for you, Beverly. Okay, and this is regarding book reports, which a lot of kids have to write.
Okay. Right.
My dad used to always have us to bring him our book reports. He wanted to read them over before we handed them to the teacher.
Very good.
Yeah, but here's the thing. This taught me a lot. This went way beyond book reports. But Pop would ask, who wrote this book? I'd say, John Smith. He said, who's John Smith? And he says, you have to know where the writer is coming from. Otherwise, if they tell you that the slave is happy, you're going to believe them. You have to know where people are coming from. The slave owner is going to tell you that the slaves were happy. The abolitionist is going to tell you something otherwise. You have to know where they're coming from. Never write a book report. Never read a book without learning who the is. And I was like, whoa. That caused me to question everything in life after that, which is good.
Wow.
So that might help with book reports, because after all, the outlook of the author is showing through his words, right?
That's true. But I think that with middle school and high school students, maybe with college students, I think that might be more important.
I don't know. I was a middle schooler.
Wow, you were well. That's probably why now you have that vast of knowledge that you have, just because of the fact that your father was a stickler about that. I'm trying to remember if I ever. I think the only authors I was really interested in learning more about. Did I take the time? I know when I had my Black history classes in high school, I know that I really wanted to know everything I could learn about, the Black authors and the poets, especially during that Renaissance period. But you're right. I think there's a lot of merit to that, because an author is writing from their perspective, basically.
Exactly.
So if you don't know what that author's perspective is, or what their politics are, whatever it is, then you're not going to get a full view of what that author is trying to say in that book.
Exactly.
So, yeah. I think
it's definitely something to think about. So tell us again, so when is this master class going to be, for this free master class for young folks?
It's going to be Saturday, February 6th at 2:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I am limiting it to 25 guests, and I already have 11 signed up. Ooh. So, yeah, because I don't want the room to be so packed where there's no time for people to ask questions at the end of the session. So I want to be able to answer questions from, students or parents who may have questions. As I understand, though, a lot of from parents who have signed their children up, they do say that the college application essays have really literally already been written by kids, because, they've gone ahead and they're starting to put their information out. So the next session I will do will be writing for scholarship essays, and how to, because it's all about storytelling. And I think that I may just do a session on storytelling, because that really is what it is. You tell your story, you make it compelling. And even at the high school level, kids have been through some things. Every student in 2020 has a story as a result of COVID. Every last one of them.
Yeah.
So they can carry that story with them as far as it'll take them. Every student will have a story. And that's how they tell that story, how vulnerable they can be in telling that story, how cohesive they can be in making sure that their thoughts are understood. Okay. And that's it. And I will approach it that way. If you've got a COVID story, that's it.
Yeah. I would tell kids to read more. I'd loved to read. I was a real bookworm when I was a kid.
I was too.
And I don't know what books the kids are reading nowadays. I have no idea. But I do know a lot of kids read the heroic stories, the people who always win. And sometimes you do need to. I wrote the story that I got the most response to when I was in Chicago. I wrote about a guy who didn't make it, but he was still happy in life, but he didn't achieve his dream, but he was still having a good, basically. But he explained the things that set him back. and people really responded to it. And I guess people would not have considered him a winner, but I consider him a winner because he was a survivor. But sometimes the stories aren't written about. Maybe you shouldn't always write about the people who come out on top,
right?
Because they're always relatable.
Because not everyone does.
Yeah.
And I do agree with you about students need to read more. Adults need to read more.
Yeah, I need to read more.
I mean, I have so many books. I have a bookcase, 2 bookcases behind me, and I have so many books. I know I've read 70% of them, and I'm trying to. This book right here that I have, I don't know if you can see it. As a Man Thinketh.
Okay.
I read this book 3 times a year.
Oh my God, what's it about?
Well, it's about a mindset, and it's about how our thoughts creates the energy of how we live. So whatever we're running around thinking and speaking out loud, that's what's happening in our worlds. And so, when I'm at the point where I'm like either frustrated or feel like I'm going into a depression zone, or why me, what's happening here, I pick up this book because that refreshes and rejuvenates my mind in an effort to get me right back on track. Because I do believe that, it says, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So I believe that what the things that I think every day will impact how I move throughout my day and how I live my life. And so
I'm going to look that up. Who wrote that?
James Allen, and it's a short book, Pat, I promise. As a matter of fact, when I'm doing story time, what Guy was talking about, I do story time at noon on Mondays, and I'm gonna read some excerpts from this, because let me tell you something. This book, I just wanted to just share just one quick thing here. The first book, the first section is called Thought and Character. And it says, the aphorism, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he, not only embraces the whole of a man's being, but it is so comprehensive as to reach out to every condition and circumstance of his life. A man is literally what he thinks, his character being the complete sum of all of his thoughts. So, that's a powerful way to start out. So that I just
that's the kind of thing I need to read twice.
Yeah. I read it. Yeah. I read it 3 times a year. So trying to get that mindset, you need a reset. This is my reset. This is my reset.
Well, thank you for telling us about it. What I'm going to do is to find that on Amazon and put the link in the show notes.
That's a good idea. As a matter of fact, if you give me your email address, if you give me your mailing address offline, send it to me in an email. I'll send you a copy. We gave these as Christmas books, Christmas gifts. 2 or 3 years ago, we bought a whole bunch of copies and gave them as Christmas gifts to our friends. And not everybody who read it sent us a note and told us how much they loved the book. I mean, they had never heard of it. And I'm like, what? How did you never hear of this book? Really? So, yeah, I still have some copies, and I'll send you one.
Thank you. I will definitely send you my address for sure.
Okay, very good. Very good.
I always enjoy when you drop by, Beverly. I always do. I hope you drop by more.
Well, I'm going to do my best to try to do it as I, start kicking up. I've got some things that are coming down the pike that I'm excited about. Can't really give it away now, but I'm working on it, and I'm going to be judging. Oh, yeah, I'm going to be judging Ohio University, my alma mater, is having their annual speech and debate tournament this weekend. And I am judging. Now, I have to tell you, there's a backstory to this because, I saw that they had it some months ago, and I was like, well, I was on the debate team, and I was really good on the debate team, and I was not asked. There were no Blacks that were asked, right? So, of course, I had to bring that out. Why aren't we asked? And sure enough, they reached out to me. As a matter of fact, I think I was the first one they reached out to, so I could get the prime slots to judge.
Nice. Okay.
So I'm rejudging this weekend, and I'm looking forward to it because I owe everything to my speech team. Just being a part of that club, being able to just being able to articulate in the way that I do. I know that's a God-given gift, but I also know that God sent some angels to make sure that I fine-tuned it, and I owe everything to them. So I'm very grateful and appreciative.
Wonderful. So it's going to obviously be totally online. They're going to be at the college, or is students going to be at their respective home, or what?
Well, that's a good question. I'm assuming that they, I'm not sure if Ohio University is doing their classes online or not. We're supposed to be getting those instructions on Thursday, so I don't know how that's all going to work out. But I do know that it's going to be online, and I'm going to see them like I see you, and they're going to give their presentation, and then I'm going to judge based on, all of those things that I talk to kids about, body language, are you making eye contact? What's that?
Body language?
Yes.
Does it have anything to do with it? Oh.
Yes. It has, yes, it has everything to do with it. I mean, if you're standing up there stiff as a board and you're just kind of standing there like a robot, you would be marked down for that. Okay. Or if you're just like all over the place and your hands are moving and you're doing you get marked down for stuff like that. You have to be able to.
I've never seen a debate.
Oh, yeah, okay. Well, you know what? I don't know if they'll let us record it, but if they do, I surely will. But yeah, those things, yeah. And
actually, that would be fun to see on YouTube, because I can imagine the kinds of arguments that are expressed during debates are probably the same kind of arguments you hear in the courtroom.
Yes, it's the same. Because those kids, the young people that are on the debate teams in colleges and high schools around the country are the same students who ultimately go on to law school and become lawyers. They hone in on their craft on those debate teams in college. As a matter of fact, I have a good friend of mine, Jack. I just interviewed him on my podcast. Jack was on the debate team, and then he went on to law school, became a lawyer. Then he changed that degree, but most of them do. They go on to law school, and but we had an absolutely Ohio University, when I was in school, was one of the top 10 schools in the country for debate. Yeah, we were awesome. I competed. Do you remember William Allen Young, the actor?
No, but go ahead. Okay, I mean, I'm not good with. Yeah,
he played Moesha's father on Moesha.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. I saw that show.
Okay, I competed against him at the national tournament. He came in 8th place, and I came in 7th.
Okay.
And then another person who was on our team, Nancy Cartwright. I don't know if you recognize that name, but Nancy is the voice of Bart Simpson and has been for the last 30 years. So we were all on the same debate team. And then there's, other notables as well who've gone on to do some wonderful things.
Okay, you have impressed Tachi.
Oh, wow. Okay, well, I aim to impress. I don't know if I aim to impress, but
you just impressed anyway.
Okay, so but that's so I'm very, very proud of having to be able to represent, and I, encourage young people too, if there is a speaking club in their schools, which there aren't a lot of those anymore, to take advantage of them, because they'll help you in so many, many ways. I was never a shy kid.
I don't think my niece's school had, I don't think they had a debate team or a talking club, but she joined, I think it's called Toastmasters.
Yes, that's another one. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, she joined them as an adult.
Yes, that's a great one. That's for adults who need, coaching as well. It's a great platform. So I recommend that one too.
You should connect with the city of Durham because, believe it or not, the city of Durham has a Toastmasters club.
Do they really?
Mm-hmm.
The city of Durham?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Well, I learned about it from Do you know Carleen Fife Phillips with the Durham County Library? I said city, I meant county. She's with the library system. But yeah, she was pointing out how they have Toastmasters.
Okay, I need to look into that. I did not know. I was going to look. The city of Durham has that. They do the jobs for kids every year, so I was planning to do a workshop on how to prepare for an interview. I did that a couple of years ago, and then I just stopped doing it for, I don't know, for whatever reason. So
my sister and I are in Chicago because we on kids in low-income areas, because very often they're not allowed to really talk or express themselves, just sit down and be quiet and all that kind of stuff. So we wanted to hold a workshop on how to present yourself.
Yes.
Because a lot of them, they walk in like this, and when you want to shake their hand, they give you like this limp little handshake, and they said, how you doing? My name's John. And we were like, no, we taught them to stand up straight and look people in the eye and that kind of stuff.
Yes.
And not to be all embarrassed and whatnot.
Yes, that's right. And that's so important. And how to dress, how to dress the part. Those are, Pat, we're going to have to collaborate on some things. The more and more I talk to you, the more and more I find that we have some things in common that we could really collaborate on.
We should put some things together because, like I said, I do the writing workshops. I know you do as well. I do the, and it's all about storytelling.
It is.
In fact, it's called Star in Your Story.
Oh,
that's what it's called. Because I'll tell you what the secret is. I don't mind giving you my secret.
Okay.
Reluctant writers, very often they think they can't write. And that's why they're reluctant. They have been told that they're bad writers or they're not enthusiastic. But most children have ego. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. You have to have an ego to live.
That's true.
You appeal to their ego by having them write about themselves. They are the star.
Yeah. That that makes so much sense.
And that's why that little girl was writing so furiously. Remember I told you about the girl who said, I'm not going to write. You will not give me, I ain't going to write nothing. She wanted that appealed to her ego. She wanted to write about herself. So she wanted to write about
herself. That is so good. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm not going to steal your idea, but I am going to find something that we can do to collaborate so that they just get a 1-2 punch.
Okay. That would be another idea, that something to mull over. I held another workshop where the winners got to interview someone on the radio. Of course, I'm not on radio now; it's all YouTube and Facebook. But I would love to. You know what I mean. You and I.
Well, I have a podcast, so they could certainly do that.
Yeah, they could. Learn how to present themselves.
And if I get lucky enough, I could get them a real star to interview. That would be great.
There you go. We're going to obviously talk later.
The what?
What did you say?
What'd you say?
Oh, I said obviously we're going to talk later because we're
definitely going to talk later, and we're going to put this together. And I've got some ideas now. See, every time I come here, you get my mind going, and I got ideas and thoughts, and
like that you said, when my mom attended a school board meeting in Chicago, we got to learn these children something.
But it's true. It's very true. Very, very true.
Great things in the works.
Yes, Pachi. Yes, absolutely. And when you come up to North Carolina, if you can tear yourself away from that gorgeous weather in Miami, you can join us.
You know what? Everything's online.
Oh, yeah, she could have joined us online. As long as she doesn't brag about the weather. Yeah, that's pretty.
Yeah,
That's brilliant.
don't hold that over our heads, but yeah, for sure.
Okay. All right. Well, listen, Pat, I'm gonna roll on out of here. I gotta check and see if my video's been uploaded and prepare for my students this evening. And thank you for allowing me to just share.
Sure. And thank you for all those wonderful tips, those writing tips and whatnot. Yeah, I mean, you just gave so much today. I really appreciate it. Drop by anytime. And one of these days, now Tachi's been on once. She's usually grading papers or doing something while listening. That's why she will watch, but very often she won't to come on the show. But one day, hopefully, maybe one day I can get the two of you together on Bull City Hangout. That would be awesome.
That would be perfect. Okay. That would be perfect. Okay. Thanks, Pat.
Take care, Beverly. Soon.
See you later. Bye, Tachi.
Awesome. Super duper fun. So I got to get ready for my next online meeting. I know a lot of us are spending a lot of time on Zoom. So I'm about to get ready to go on Zoom and talk to someone. But anyway, you have a beautiful afternoon. It's supposed to, again, go up to 52. Don't laugh, Tachi. But it's going up to 52 here in Durham. And then supposedly we're going to enter weather advisory. We might get snow tonight. I don't know. It doesn't matter that much because tomorrow is going up to 43 and partly sunny. So there you go. So Tachi, you have a beautiful day as well. Everybody watching this live and also the replay, you have a beautiful afternoon. Now tomorrow I have an online event that's from 9 until 1. So it looks like City Hangout will be on tomorrow at 2 p.m. So I will post a reminder tomorrow morning. So with that, have a beautiful day. See you tomorrow at 2. Ciao for now.